Wings Consultants Private Limited. First of all, a very happy Raksha Bandhan to all of you. While I wait for my brother to come in so that I can tie him a Rakhi, let me quickly do a Monday YouTube session with you. सबसे पहले व्यूअर्स मैं जो आपसे बात डिस्कस करना चाहती हूँ वो बहुत इम्पॉर्टेंट है बिकॉज ऑस्ट्रेलिया इमिग्रेशन का आपका डिसीजन माइग्रेट करने का इसी क्वेश्चन पे डिपेंड करता है एंड द क्वेश्चन इज़ क्या ऑस्ट्रेलिया इमिग्रेशन बंद है या क्या ऑस्ट्रेलिया इमिग्रेशन बंद थी और अब खुल गई है. प्लीज़ लेट मी अश्योर यू कि ऑस्ट्रेलिया इमिग्रेशन कभी भी बंद नहीं थी. Even during the lockdown, the Australia immigration processes were on, such as skills assessment, state nomination, यहाँ तक के visa applications भी launch हो रही थी. Yes, because for some time जो DHA Department of Home Affairs है उन्होंने अपना invitation rounds कुछ hold किए हुए थे, उस वजह से लोगों को लगा कि शायद ऑस्ट्रेलिया इमिग्रेशन बंद है. Sadly, what I've seen is कि बहुत सारे लोग probably invitation rounds के basis पे decide करते हैं, MLTSSL list के basis पे decide करते हैं कि ऑस्ट्रेलिया इमिग्रेशन का आज की डेट में ट्रेंड कहाँ जा रहा है. Whereas 189 सब क्लास जो कि एसोसिएटेड होती है इन्विटेशन राउंड से, उससे हट के एक और बहुत पॉपुलर वीज़ा है विच इज़ कॉल्ड 491 वीज़ा, दैट इज़ रीजनल स्पॉन्सर्ड माइग्रेशन. That is a visa I'm basically going to talk about and tell you why you should be seriously focusing on that visa. So I've got a few chits here just so that I don't miss any point that I need to discuss with you. सबसे पहला क्वेश्चन जो आप लोगों के माइंड में आ रहा होगा दैट इज़ कि नॉमिनेशंस क्या खुल गई हैं या कब खुलेंगी. जैसे कि साउथ ऑस्ट्रेलिया स्टेट ने क्लियर किया था पहले कि अर्ली अगस्त में वो अपनी नॉमिनेशन शुरू कर देंगे. दैट हैज़ बिन डेफर्ड फॉर अ वाइल. अब इट सीम्स दैट ऑल द स्टेट्स विल बी accepting applications for 491 nomination in the month of October. So I really don't see any nominations opening up at this time. So please get your files ready, prepare your files for October, which is when the states will be opening, and these applications will be taken on a first come first serve basis. So you have to be absolutely ready with everything to make sure that your application is successfully lodged and processed. Now, I want to quickly touch upon a 189 visa. We get a lot of queries from clients जो बहुत देर से skills assessment लेकर बैठे हैं and they are just in a state of vacuum, I would say. They don't know कि आगे क्या होना है. They are looking very eagerly looking at the invitation cutoff, which is usually 90, 95, 80, 85. And उन लोगों का focus basically होता है कि किसी तरह हम अपने points और score कर लें so that हमारे chances invitation round में pick होने के better हो जाएं. While I think it's a very good thing for you to be working on increasing your point score, sadly speaking, बहुत सारे applicants जो 189 visa को देख रहे हैं बहुत seriously, even adding up a lot of points may not get them anywhere because in my personal opinion, in times to come, the Australian Immigration Department is going to be more focused on granting visas, on taking up applications for regional Australia than for subclass 189 and even 190 for that matter. As you must be aware that Australia is facing a critical situation as far as filling up the skills shortages in regional areas is concerned. Therefore, in this particular time and especially in the financial year 2020-21, मेरे opinion में ऑस्ट्रेलिया का फोकस ज़्यादा 491 वीज़ा पे रहेगा. Therefore, all of you who've been thinking कि हम सिर्फ 189 पे जाएंगे और those who've been adamant that 190 is the visa we only want to settle for, please very seriously take a look at 491 visa as a very viable option because it will be much easier for you to migrate to Australia on 491 visa than on a 190 or a 189 visa. Then quickly I'd like to come down to a very common question that people usually ask कि जब हम nominations की बात करते हैं कि states nominate करेंगे तो क्या nominations में हमें funds दिखाने होते हैं. My answer to this question is yes and no. No, because जो Immigration Department of Australia है that does not have any requirement for any settlement funds like Canada does. However, जब हम state nomination के लिए apply करते हैं, that state needs to be reassured that in case you're not able to find a job for yourself for about 2-3 months or so, you've got some sort of assets back home which you can probably liquidate in order to support yourself. So when we really talk about finances, we're not really talking about liquid money here. We're talking about assets, which can be in the form of your movable assets, immovable assets. A lot of times it can also be in the name of your parents who are supporting you. So as such, the answer to the question is that as such कोई आपको कोई recent या you say let's say old funds की requirement नहीं होती है जैसे कि student visa में होती है. So funds is not something that should deter you to apply for Australia immigration here. Now, a good point somebody asked me in the comment section in one of my recent videos कि आप मैम ये कहते हैं कि 65 points is enough for 491 visa. अगर आपके 65 points बनते हैं और आप एक state के nomination criteria को meet करते हैं, that's good enough. So still, why do you talk about increasing your points? So good point there. I'd just like to clarify here कि कुछ occupations होते हैं जिसमें probably जो states होती हैं they give nominations to higher scoring applications. For example, IT occupations and engineering occupations. इसमें हम जैसे example लेते हैं South Australia की. South Australia usually asks IT professionals and engineering professionals to have a score of overall 70 and preferably a 7-band score in each. Also, because South Australia specifically, there is a concept of high points category, which basically means that even if your occupation has reached the quota allocated for that year, or it is there on their supplementary list but not on their state occupation list, you can still apply for a nomination and get a nomination from South Australia provided you meet a certain point mark, which is usually high. So for some occupations, if you manage to get a higher score, it will definitely be beneficial. However, having said that, I would like to insist here that you do not really need points as high as the points in a cutoff score, such as 90 or 95 points. If you have 65 points and you're meeting the rest of the state requirements, you're good to go. You should really have no problem in getting a nomination. Now, the next point I would like to talk to you about is why should you choose a consultant? Now, we get a lot of CVs from all around the world and from every nook and corner of India. And we're surprised to see that there's so many skilled professionals, people with very good profiles. Who have the positive skills assessments with them, and they've been probably waiting for the cutoff to drop a little bit or for their points to go a little higher. They're sitting at very good English proficiency score, good experience, and of course, like I said, a positive skills assessment. But 189 visa is the only visa they're looking at. And when we advise them about an option such as the 491 visa, a lot of them were not even aware that there existed an option wherein you could get a nomination from a state that will not only fetch you more points for your partner skills, but also get you additional 15 points simply for the fact that you're going to be nominated. So by and large, what I've seen is that anybody who applies for Australia migration is not very fussy. Some of the clients are fussy, but most of them are not very fussy about where they want to go. Now, by now, people have a very fair understanding that when we're talking about regional Australia, we are not talking about backward Australia. We are talking about some very livable cities such as Adelaide, such as Perth, and so on. So except for Sydney, Brisbane and Melbourne, everything in Australia is now regional. So when we're talking about regional, it basically means that you are being diverted towards areas in Australia where the government is looking at filling up the skills shortages, and not areas where which is a village, so to say, So yeah, coming back to why you should really go ahead with an experienced consultant is that even those people who have managed to get positive skills perhaps on their own for very complex occupations do probably seem to need help with their migration application. Simply because having obtained a positive skills assessment is not the end of the story. If you're lucky enough to get into 189, the chances of which are very low, to be very honest with you, you will probably have to route your application through 491. You might have noticed my not stressing a lot on 490 because, in my personal opinion, I do not think the Australian Immigration Department is very keen on nominating clients under 190. In fact, even when you see some states, for example, the state of South Australia, when they open their occupation lists, they usually have a very elaborate list from which people can choose their occupation. But a lot of occupations come with a rider that says nomination available under 491 only. So since 189 and 190 visa is not something I think the government will be very keen on giving invitations or nominations under, I want you to very seriously consider 491 as a very good and a very practical option you should be looking forward to. So since a lot of people are intelligent enough, smart enough to have got their skills assessment done, they too may need some help with their migration application, simply because a nomination is involved in the 491 visa, and nomination process can be very complicated. We as migration agents need to be very watchful of the opportunities, of the criteria. We have to continually strive to see where the client fits in, which state's criteria it's meeting, and to be able to ensure that we do not meet the small window time frame that we usually get for some states when the application is lodged well within time. Also because Australia immigration fee associated, the cost associated with the migration, that is the visa application fee for the primary applicant, for the secondary applicants and so on, is exorbitantly high. I mean, if you compare it with Canada, you definitely do not want to put so much fee at stake by doing the application yourself. You would rather engage a migration agent who has had years and years of experience in having put up applications. Also, I'd like to add here that with time, the Immigration Department of Australia's criteria keeps on evolving. Now just getting a skills assessment does not mean you've kind of passed their test as far as proving your skills in a particular occupation is concerned. You may be subject to a further acid test, as I put it. When you lodge your application with the DHA, you may want to support your application with additional documentation which you probably did not provide at the time of your skills assessment with the OEDSS or the ACS or whatever your assessment body is. Therefore, using a very experienced consultant will be a very good idea, because that will save you from unnecessary delays. You'll not end up making any error. You will ensure that everything possible that can strengthen your file will be included in your application. And of course, you will have the expertise of somebody who's worked on skilled migration applications for years, and definitely you stand to get a benefit there. So quickly, I'd like to wrap this up here. Please feel free to send us your comments, your resumes, so that we can look at your CVs and advise you of the visa options that are available to you. Those who are yet to start the process, or those who already started the process are somewhere hanging in there, feel free to write to us. We will be more than happy to take a look at it. We do not have any initial consultation fees, so if you want to check your eligibility with us, if you have questions to ask, if you're needing clarifications, we will be more than happy to answer your questions and evaluate your CVs for you. Please feel free to call us on 78498 78498, or you can even email us on canwings@gmail.com. That is CANWINGS@gmail.com. You may also want to email me on diamondsodhi@hotmail.com. That is DIAMONDSODHI@hotmail.com, or you can write to my official email address, that is diamondsodhi@canwings.com. That is DIAMONDSODHI Canwings, CAANWINGS.com. We are not very keen on using our canwings.com email addresses, simply for the reason that we see a lot of times these emails going into the junk folders and emails not reaching us. So though all our senior immigration experts have their official email IDs on the canwings.com portal, we prefer to use Gmail, canwings@gmail.com as the primary email for you. Simply because we know that at least your emails are getting to us and our communications are coming through to you, but please feel free, you can always send it there. So until next time we meet again, please do ask us your questions, write to us in case you have any direct query that you want to direct to me. I've already shared my email ID with you, and be happy to hear from you, looking forward. And again, once wishing you all a very, very happy Raksha Bandhan. Have a lovely day, enjoy, and all the best.